creepy girl stories. According to Reddit, number 14. In elementary school, there was a new Spanish girl who had a crush on me. Would literally non-stop stare at me and follow me. Me and a friend or two decided we'd test it. In class, they would look and see if she was staring at me. During recess, we went to the very far corner of the field, and she followed. So I went back to school and went to a wall, and she followed. I told the teachers, and they finally got her to stop following me, and she disappeared a few days later. Nobody knew where she went. That's the end of the story. That's it. Number 13. I was bored once at a small local festival. Didn't want to be there, so I just got a drink, started walking around aimlessly, when I noticed a fire breather. The display was interesting, and she was pretty hot. Get it? She was on break. She went to get a drink, and we started talking. She seemed nice. We had a laugh, but her break was up, and she resumed her display, so I left her to it, continued to wander around. 5 minutes later, security was called to her display. Turns out, some crazy girl, whom I had never met, was following me around the festival and assaulted the fire breather. She had claimed that we, as in me and the crazy woman, were together, and that the fire breather was trying to break us up. Officer, I've never met this woman in my life. I was trying to check out the hot girl. You mean the fire breather? Good one. Get it? Hot. I get it. Do you get it? Snap, crackle, pop. Number 12. During my last year of high school, I would tutor students after school. One day, about halfway through the year, a new girl came and sat next to me. The first thing she said was something along the lines of,
"Do you want to see my birth control?"
She had an implant in her arm. She showed me where it was. She then felt my arm and told me I was hairy. For the rest of the time, she kept prying me for personal information, like who my friends were, where I lived. I didn't see her in tutoring after that. But one day, during lunch, she came up to my table when I was just chatting with my friends. She inserted herself into the conversation before abruptly leaving. I heard a few days later she was suspended for either having drugs or a knife in her backpack. One of those is cooler than the other. But which do you think it was? And furthermore, Which do you think I consider the cool one? You might be wrong. Ha, cha, 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 cha. Number 11. It was when I was back in Skew. There was this little girl who used to sit just behind my seat. She was good looking, but was very distant from everybody and talked with nobody. Her social skills were zero, but I tried talking to her. We get to know each other. I thought we could become friends. We started sitting on the same seat. One day she says,
I know why you're friends with me.
and I said, why? And she says,
You want this, right?
then she pulls up her skirt and her panties down. She showed me the pussy whose image is imprinted in my memory. We were 16 years old, and she giggled. I look at her exhibition and then back into her eyes. I could see a psychotic smile on her face. She was the creepiest girl I've ever met in my entire life. My entire life. And her panties down. Ooh, so spooky. Polly Frog in the stream chat says, I had a girl who I never met call me every night at 3:50 a.m. She did this for over a month. She said she likes to watch me at night. She thought I was cute. Then she'd hang up. Thank you for the donation, Polly Frog. You're kidding me. It's just going to read what
I had a girl who I never met call me every night at 3:50 a.m. for over a month.
I just said that.
She said she likes to watch me at night and that I was cute and hang up.
I just said that. So yeah. I just said that. You guys want to really talk about something spooky? You really want to know something spooky? The font in Polly Frog's name appears to be from Farmville. I could be wrong. And part of us wants to be wrong. Because what if I'm right? Number 10. One was a girl that he got set up with. They were on a blind date. As they go out to dinner, they pass a jewelry store, and she insists on going in so that they could pick out rings for when they get engaged. He paid for dinner and noped right out. You want to go check out jewelry on the first date? And then you're dropping words like engage. The only engage I need to be in the midst of is the Starship Enterprise entering warp. Take us out, Commander Riker. The second one went better, until he took her back to her place. She went to the kitchen, pulled a nice, big, sharp chef's knife, and told him that he was staying the night. He said, "I did what any red-blooded American male would do." Agreed, but said I needed to go to the bathroom, where I promptly crawled out of the window and never saw her again. Now, Belle, I know this isn't the way that you want people to find out about the date that you had, but sometimes you need to get exposed. The allegations are true. Number 9. This younger girl who I never even spoke to once in high school had a crush on me. I got a note from her in my locker asking if I wanted to go out with her. I had no idea of how to get back to her, so I just wrote, "No." I taped it to my locker. Then she started following me everywhere. I would try to talk to her, but she would just keep walking away, pretending I wasn't talking to her. This goes on for like 2 years. Then I was hanging out by myself one day around the neighborhood, and she comes walking up with 3 guys who wanted to kick my ass for some dumb unrelated stuff. She found her white knights. She found her simps, baby. She somehow found out about it and brought them to me. After an embarrassing scene, with me diffusing the situation with these angry gentlemen, they leave, and she finally sits down on the curb right next to me and starts flirting. All I could do was just stare at her enormous bangs, with a what the fuck expression until she got embarrassed and walked off. What a damn slut. And the scary part is, these hoes are all around you. Crazy as hell. And the scary part isn't even how crazy and hoish they are. It's that they can snap their fingers and wag their tongues and get some dumb cunt that wants his pee-pee sucked by this stupid hoe to jump. 'Cause when she say jump, he say, "How high, milady? I will do anything, milady." When they inevitably get no pussy, though, they'll turn into supreme gentlemen. The nice guys. Number 8. Seemingly normal-looking attractive girl. Took her out on a date. We get drunk. She breaks down, starts saying how she used fentanyl with her ex and ended up in the hospital. Come on now. Now she has to use a catheter and bag for the rest of her life as it fucked up her urinary system. She was screaming, "I have a drug-induced bladder disorder!" She's 23 years old. Cried, tried to get me to finger her beside her catheter. I wasn't feeling it. You know? Ew. I just wasn't feeling it, but shit, you want me to finger just by the catheter? She decided I was the enemy and called the cops, said I was assaulting her. He raped me! He raped me in my catheter! I recorded her as she went apeshit calling me names. The cops show up. She's having some sort of mental breakdown. She ends up transported to a psych observation unit at 1 a.m. And I just ended up playing poker. Couple of days later, she texts me and asks, "Wanna hang out?" Guess what I did? Ghosted her. when there's something strange and the bitch is weird. What you gonna do? Ghost her on your phone. Just trash. It's just trash. Just ghost that bitch. Damn. Ew. Oh my god. Just finger me next to the catheter. Ladies, if you ever feel like you're insecure and you don't have it going on, at the very least, no dude's gonna have to push your catheter out of the way because you was getting too sloppy and loose with the drugs. Ugh. Number 7. I was like 13 to 14 years old. I was playing a game called Gaia Online. Oh yeah, I played Gaia. So I met some girl. Oh yeah? Was she a real girl or was she a Gaia Online girl? We hit it off. Started chatting over AIM. That's AOL Instant Messenger. For those of you who aren't gangster enough. Definitely did the cringy cybering thing too. Oh my god. Well, eventually, she comes clean that she's actually in her late 20s. I'm talking 28 years old or something. Being a horny 14-year-old dude, that didn't bother me one bit. So then we start video chatting. And she's like fully masturbating on cam with me. Again, 14-year-old me is not seeing an issue with this. Eventually she starts talking about coming to visit me so we can actually have sex. Again, not seeing the issue beyond the fact that she really was not very attractive, but even still, I didn't think she was serious until she emails me a copy of her flight itinerary. At this point, I panicked and I blocked her, deleted my AOL Instant Messenger and stayed away from the computer for like 6 months and I never heard from her again. It could happen to you. Here I am, playing Gaia Online, pretending to be 14 years old, minding my own business. I figured nobody would bother me if I was alone, and just a little boy. I'm just a little boy. Lo and behold, other little boys and girls wanted to be my friends, but they weren't little boys and girls at all. And they didn't want to be my friend. They wanted to be my body. They wanted my young body. They wanted to fly see me. They wanted to peach cream me. And I hope you had the time of your life. Number 6. I had a friend who went absolutely crazy after her boyfriend broke up with her, cutting, trying to force him to get back together, getting him kicked out of the group to isolate him. Only it backfired, and she would end up throwing fits. That was only freshman year. When he started dating another girl from our group senior year, she pretended to be cool, only to lie to the girl and try to convince her to break up with him because he was definitely texting her last night. Oh, and also, he told her he hated her and that she was ugly and that he actually loved her and was only, with the new girl to make her jealous. I mean, come on. Many things happened too. Other things. I feel like I just read a TikTok. If TikToks were of the reading variety, I've seen them. Some bitch writes on the screen because they're ugly. It could happen to you. You could be ugly. I know I am. Join me. One of us. As we continue up this list, we arrive at number 5. We're coming in hot. Some of you are just coming Period. Number 5. I've got 2. First one was when I was 15 years old. I was walking past my school and about to cross the road when a trio of drunk women in their 40s and 50s started hassling me about how good I looked, pressed me in against a wall and surrounded me with their hot, old, gross beaver action. I couldn't get out. They were holding me back. They were copping their feels. It wasn't a fun experience. Especially when you can't even tell people about it or how creeped out it is. You can't tell them how creeped out it's made you. Because as a guy, you should somehow be proud that women 3 times your age are grabbing your cock through your trousers. This was not consensual. Time number 2 was about 4 years ago. I was 22 years old. Asked a girl that I'd met out. She seemed nice at first. Met her in a little cafe while I was waiting to meet some friends. We got to talking about Pokemon and whether or not we were making serious decisions on catching them all. Some other stuff. 20 to 30 minutes go by before we decide to add one another on Facebook. One weird thing was that in the time that she told me that in the time we were speaking, she told me that she had been snuggled by her ex. Just gonna start off with that? Just gonna go right in on that? Just gonna talk about it right off the bat there, aren't you? Jeez. Just go right in there. Say, fucking take me to dinner first, maybe. I thought maybe she was just being open. And it was a way of dealing with the trauma, so I let it slide. And I messaged her a bit later to see if she'd be interested in a date, and she told me that she already had a boyfriend, but that she'd love to hang out as friends, which was fair. So I agreed to that. What? We met up days later. She brought her boyfriend, which I expected. I got the sense he wasn't too comfortable with me, which I can understand, but what threw me was she also brought her ex. Hey now. What the fuck's up? Bitch, you crazy? Check, please. Get me out of this dream. Oh my God. I can 100% say that it was the same ex that she'd mentioned, but he really gave off the vibe with the way that he talked and behaved around her. Sorry, he can't say with 100% whether or not it was the dude. She kept on talking about dead babies and abortions obsessively. You couldn't change the subject at all. Straight back to dead babies and abortions. How was your day? Dead babies and abortions, goddammit. What do you think we should eat? What do you think a dead baby would have wanted to eat if it was allowed to live and an abortion? Creeped out me just sat there with a smile and acted civil while eternally going, please don't kill me. I haven't spoken to her since. Now we're talking. It seems we've reached the what the hell am I reading portion of this list. Don't forget to like. Or you may find yourself forgetting to breathe in the middle of the night. Oh, sweet God,
The
no.
Decider, Part 2X, the remix.
Queen. Oh my God. Queen, thank you. It's supposed to be a creepy list. But the only thing creepy is how heroes like this beautiful, big-titted, and wonderfully sweet woman has put up with me long enough to also support me. I thank you, Queen. You are the stream boss. I bestow the resistance of any and all curses upon you. May the Kyels be encamped around you. Queen, you've gone above and beyond here. You've gone too far. We just want to know what bank you've robbed here, please. Thank you. And as I complete this list, know that I do it believing in you. The heart of the cards be with you. Wow. In case none of you were creeped out yet, get a load of this comment in the stream chat. Out of nowhere, unprovoked. You want to play Ewok Hunt in Battlefront 2? Imagine seeing some shit like that in your fucking inbox. Probably make you want to take off all your clothes and just light them on fire. Number 4. Queen, thank you. Goddamn. Jesus Christ, the century's never ending. Queen, choose the gift that you want the gift to be, because you're the queen now. She is the queen. You know, I met a girl online. Let's call her Queen. Queen seemed normal enough, so we ended up going out for a drink. I found out that night that Queen actually lived an hour away in a rural town. But whatever. Well, Queen and I go out, we have a drink, and then we went to go play pool. We drove over in my vehicle, and when we get to the pool hall, Queen checks her phone and sees that she has a text from her ex-boyfriend. Queen decides to cry incessantly. I was trapped. I didn't know what to do, so I offered to take her back to the car. Queen says that she wasn't sure if she should drive, and she asked if I would take her home. I declined, saying that it would be a good idea. It wouldn't be a good idea, because A, her car was like a mile away. B, she lived an hour away. C, how in the hell did she plan to get her car the next day? And she agrees for the night to end well, the while apologizing vigorously. The next day she texts me, apologizes, and offers to buy me lunch. She seemed alright when we were getting to know each other, and I was bored, so I figured what the hell, and I gave her another shot. Queen brought her kids to lunch. Queen brought her kids to lunch. Bruh, there's a noise I want right now. There's a noise I want right now. Queen brought her kids to lunch.
What you say? That you only meant
Oh my God. When I saw them get out of the car, I texted her and said it wasn't okay for me to meet them. She became irate and said her sitter canceled at the last minute, even though the drive was an hour long from her house. She didn't find it important to ask if it would be weird for her kids to come. It was at that point that I stated that I was no longer interested. Now for the creepy part. 2 days later, Queen texts me, but I don't respond. She keeps at it. Kept asking if I wanted to go out the next weekend. I'm so scared. Please, Queen, stop. After multiple texts, I messaged her and I said I wasn't interested and I planned to take my friend out for her birthday party. I have another friend, Queen. This resulted in even more irate messages about how she wasn't comfortable with me hanging out with other girls, and so forth. This resulted in Queen getting blocked. Turns out, she took a guess on where we would go. And she showed up at the venue. I had to tell the birthday girl that I was leaving and to call me when she was ready to go. My night was ruined. The birthday girl got home okay, in case you're wondering, but wait, there's more. A couple of weeks after that, there was an ice cream man. I'm kidding. There was an ice storm. Sorry, there was an ice storm, and the power had gone out in the area. Bling, bling. What's wrong with my phone? There's no cell phone reception. I ended up going over to a friend's house to hang out since they had a generator. We were playing cards, enjoying ourselves. Y'all have power and y'all playing cards. Suddenly, I get a text from a number that I didn't recognize. Yeah, I knocked that one out of the park. Yeah, that's how you talk to the ladies.
That's how you scare off a lady.
Suddenly, I get a text from a number I don't recognize. Are you alright? I'm really worried, the message read. I'm fine. Who's this? It's Queen, she replied. I ignore it and put my phone down. The text message sent chills down my spine. I'm really worried. I'm standing at your house and all the lights are off. Are you sure you're okay? She had never been to my house, and I had never given her my last name. My final message before blocking her involved in not contacting me, or I would call the police, and it turns out she was a secretary or some shit for the police department, and she ran my tag to find out where I lived, drove over an hour to my house in the midst of an ice storm, and then got a new number to call me, to check up on me. Are you people assuming her gender? Don't do it. Like the video. Like the video, man. Press subscribe. Or this could happen to you. My mouth is dry as fuck. Number 3. She befriended my younger sister just to get her to ask her to a sleepover. I woke up in the middle of the night with her laying in my bed with me. I was 17 years old and she was 13.
I'm gonna tell everyone you touched me. Me too. Me too. Me too.
Why are you doing that thing with your finger?
That's not me. That's Accuser. She lives in my mouth.
Queen, I'd like to thank you for all that you've contributed here. With every dollar that you donate, you, without a word, show your abundant, overwhelming approval of what I do here on this channel. So if I may take my pants off to continue the rest of the stream. Sorry. Number 2. Once An acquaintance added me on Facebook. When I clicked on her profile, it said that she was in a relationship with a trombone. Sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny at all.
No.
Wait, how far are your legs spread? What the fuck? Damn,
spread.
girl. What?
I said they're spread.
Damn. Why did I say trombone, man? I'm so gone. I'm sorry, stream. I'm trying. I gotta get through this. Once an acquaintance added me on Facebook, and when I clicked the profile, it said she was in a relationship with someone. That someone was a fake account of me with my picture. Trump boyfriend? What the fuck? You like that?
Yeah,
Trump boyfriend?
If you will.
Stupid. Yo, I thought I was crazy. You know, some people go their whole life and they never find someone to match that kind of stupid. But you did it. We're here together. Let's write a television show. Okay, we've made it to number 1 on the terrifying list of creepy girl stories. Gabby has arrived just in time because it is, of course, a list about her. Number 1. I was in New Orleans watching some street performers go crazy, and a mom came up behind me, fully grabbed both of my ass cheeks. I was 18 and standing next to both of my parents, and she said, "Hey, you remind me of my son," which is probably one of the weirdest things to say in that moment. Open palm, ass cheek grab. You remind me of my son. Open palm, ass cheek grab. Bitch, I'm not the one. Look into a mirror and say your name 1, 2, 3 times. End this stupid phrase I'm saying with one rhyme and you die. Icky Gabby says, "Why? Can I grab your cheeks? If you can catch them, I can roll down the street faster than a Katamari." Hey, a bridge illusion, like train tracks? That's wonderful. I'd set something like this up if I had the custom design space, which I don't. And here's a video of a Karen freakout. Let the horror be that these Karens are all among you.
With a mask on. How am I eat? You want me to eat? How we supposed to eat? This woman gonna come over and ask me why I ain't got my mask right here. She gonna ask me why I ain't got no mask on. I'm trying to eat my goddamn food. Now how the fuck I'm eating my goddamn food with no mask on? This woman right here gonna ask us where our mask at. She ain't come over here and say, "Hey, how you doing? What you doing? How you been? Cuz, what's up? Farmers market, how you been?" Susie Q right here wanna come over here and embarrass herself, and we ain't did nothing to her.
How are you supposed to eat with a mask on? Get the hell out of here.
Eating. Ain't he eating with no mask on, Susie? Now, Susie, I'm you on the news channel now, honey, because you done fucked up. At this point, don't come over here and ask me what my goddamn mask was. How I'm gonna eat without my...
If that ain't just how white people act, he's over there eating with no mask on, as you might need to do to actually eat. But you walking over here asking to do why he don't have the mask on while he's eating.
Well, he's white. He can do that.
Just like Jimmy Kimmel bitch ass in blackface. But Kevin Hart can't host the Oscars. Ain't that just a bucket of shit? The world you live in is a creepy one indeed. Oh my God, with her flat booty ass. Did y'all hear that the Secret Service asked the reporters to evacuate the White House? That's pretty gnarly, bro. Queen, Let me know how I can make your day and what gift we should change this on to stay for the stream, okay? I'm hot. I'm dying. I miss you, but I'm trying. And I'll be back as soon as you're ready. Like this list and dream of me like spaghetti. Remember me. Devote yourself to me.